Hey everyone, it's summer 2025. What are you up to? What are you doing? In our home, we are creating menus, schedules, and memories. And I wanted to share that with you. Maybe that'll help you just plan your summer a little better. So we are working very diligently in our home to reorganize and regroup. And let me explain. We're kind of slow in getting into a new schedule, in a new routine. We're slow in the transition period. Some people can jump right from this season to that, or whether it's the fall to the winter season, or it's a season of life where, things are changing in your household or whatever. We're just slow in the process. It just takes me a minute, and I just don't do well with the processing of the transition. And Graham and I needed to sit down and kind of regroup and rethink about this, and we took a night. And I was so pleased with it was the time, it was the right moment. It just was a really cool time to make this plan. And we made some major decisions for our family and for this house as to how we need to do things. So I'm going to share a few highlights. I might pop up a few pictures here and there and share those with you, and I hope you enjoy some of the things we're going to be talking about. One of the things I wanted to show you, you're probably going to say, what in the world? See this boot? Show you all around here. And there's a faux plant in here. This is sitting on my table in my studio. This is now my studio for my business, which is YouTube, also selling online, and also just our household things that we need. When my dad passed away, we went through my dad's car and pulled out all the things that didn't need to be in there to pass that car into someone else. And my dad's boot was in, there were two boots, and my oldest son took one and I took the other. And I've seen on Pinterest and other places where you make it into a planter. So that's what I did. And it's a hard and crusty boot. My dad was a hard worker, worked in a lot of construction and mechanical things and whatnot. And so it was well preserved by just the things he did. Put in a faux planter, and it sits on my table. And it is one of the most precious memories that I have. I remember my dad wearing those boots. I remember different times of my dad heading off to work, and so I get to stare at it every day here on my table. And I just wanted to talk through some things with you that maybe might help you a little bit. We're not going to be in the kitchen tonight. We're not going to be out and about in the house. I wanted to do that, but we're not doing that tonight. So, Father's Day, and we had a great Father's Day barbecue, and it's been difficult for my oldest son. He broke his ankle in 4 places. He pretty much destroyed his ankle and had to have emergency surgery. So he's been on crutches, in a cast, in a boot, trying to walk, trying to work, trying to run after a toddler. Life's been difficult for them, and we've been helping out a lot with that. And it has been such a joy to be able to be part of our older kids' lives and knowing that they needed us and helping with the little one, and that's been great. So you might see some pictures along here. I'm just going to throw bits and pieces of pictures of things that we've been up to. So some of it might be random and match up with something else that I'm talking about, but you'll see that. And so then we've been planning for 2 major events in June. One was a garage sale, and one was VBS at our church. And I run the entire craft department from toddlers to teens. I do all the crafts, all the ages, all the kids, 100%. Scheduling. You need to take time to schedule things even in a new season. So we're going into the summer season. Now, for me, I'm not old, but I'm older. I'm older than I was 20 years ago. And I have to remind myself that. All those things out. And that's why I was saying in transition for us, things take a little bit longer, and my husband can do so little with helping as much as he desperately wants to. He just can't. And we can't push him too far because then he'll end up having a seizure. So, we have to know our limits on that. but we made a memory out of it. We made collecting and gathering and walking through the house and putting a cardboard box at the end of the hall saying, okay, who has things to sell? What are we going to sell? But we made it into a moment. We made it into almost in a sense, a vacation day. I had to go to work that evening, but we made it a moment where we packed sandwiches and we had snacks and we had Gatorade and we had water bottles, and we opened the back of our van up and put the hatchback up, and I had coolers with all the goodies in it. My husband brought his speaker and we played some music and we sold things. And does it take a lot to make a memory? It really doesn't. What does it take to make a memory? It doesn't always have to cost money. It doesn't have to be a lot of time. It doesn't need to be a week on a cruise ship. Now, all of that's wonderful. Hey, if you're going to go there, I'm not saying, but I know when you get older, sometimes those things aren't as easy financially. You don't, maybe just physically can't do things. Maybe you don't have the time to do things, or whatever, the mobility or whatever the case might be. But you can make memories in very small incremental ways. And just to give you a thought, it's amazing. We did things with my oldest son for vacation. We had no money. We were so broke. And we had a staff exchange program for the organization I was working for, and they had an agreement with other organizations that were similar. Kind of hard to explain, but anyway, we could go to their facilities and they can come to ours, and it was an exchange, a staff exchange, and it cost us $10 a night for a hotel room. And let me tell you, that was a lot of money even 25 years ago for us. That sounds so cheap, I know, but it was a lot, and that was what we could afford. So we took our oldest son, and we made the best memories we could. We'd pack food for lunches and for breakfast and lunches, and then dinner we would go out and try and do like a special dinner, and we saved every penny we had, and we would go to places, and we went to this one area, and we would go back there over and over, and we got to know the lay of the land and do different things. Well, fast forward, my son's now married and has his own son. And where did he go last week on vacation? He went back to that very place where we used to go, not the same hotel type place, but in that same area, and took his son to all the places that we used to go. And it just touched my heart to think that, memories aren't about money. Memories are about people. Memories are about the time you've spent and investing in the lives of the people that you love and you care for, your family. Maybe it's a friend, a close friend. And it didn't have to cost a lot of money. We had no money, but we didn't let that stop us. We still made a memory. So I want to encourage you, if you're going into the summer season and you're on the low end of finances right now and you just don't have a lot, it's okay. You can still make a memory. You could go for a walk and enjoy the beauty of nature. You could go for a walk through the raindrops, as long as it's, safe and not thundering and lightning. You could just go sit by the water. You could do all kinds of things and just have a fun moment without spending money. What are we doing? Schedules. We have reorganized our schedule. Now for us, again, transition takes us a while just for various reasons. We're not a fast transition people in this home. And it takes us a while to restructure and get on routines. But again, my husband and I sat down and we made a list of all the places we want to go to this summer into early fall. And we said, even if we only got to, let's say we have 20 places and we got to 3 or 4, we'd be happy with that, because that leaves us a list of places we would love to go to at another time. And along with that, we made a routine schedule of, okay, now that we've cleaned out the house, a new cleaning schedule. And every day we have planned to do something except for Sunday. The other day we've nailed it down to do one thing a day, so at the end of the week the whole house has had a good clean sweep. Through a schedule that would fit our summer schedule. I'm sure as the fall comes and then as the winter comes, we're going to have to re-up that. But what we're trying to do is recreate a new routine. And I think that's the key with, at least for us, that recreating a new routine. It's sometimes hard to transition from one thing to the next. And because we've spent months preparing to sell things online and to have a yard sale and to do different things like that, we had piles all over the house. Time was coming but I don't have storage, so it was piled all over the place. Well, now they're all gone. So we were able to move the furniture, vacuum behind things, give it a good dust. And then I sat around and I thought, ooh, I might like to do a little redecorating and maybe put up some new curtains. So I went to the thrift store and I picked up some new curtains, and I'm going to be showing you my studio and office. I completely redid it for me, and I'm really excited about it because now I have a little place to come to. I made a room out of a room, if that makes sense, and I'll share this with you on another day and another time. But I used the curtains in there to sort of camouflage something. We made a list of all the places that we want to go to. That would be the memories. Then we sat down and we wrote up a schedule so that every day what was going to be the new routine of what we're cleaning each day. And then along with that, I had to add a new menu. So maybe you're in a new season in life, again, whether it's a new season like a physical season, summer, or transitioning from spring to summer or whatever, and you need to change up your menu. Or maybe it's a new season financially, things are tighter, or you've had a loss in the family or less people in the home or whatever, and you need to transition into a new menu. I think it's a good thing to transition, to accept the transition. What am I trying to say? To accept the transition and to make new routines and things. It gives you a fresh perspective. And so we've come up with a menu, and one night is going to be barbecue night, and we have a Blackstone, a small one, throw hamburgers and chicken or hot dogs on the grill, whatever. Another night's going to be just a pasta night. Another night's going to be a soup night. Another night's going to be a leftover night, whatever. But I've done it enough where if I'm trying to think through what's on sale, what do I need to buy? Well, we want to do a pasta night. Do I want to do lasagna, a baked ziti, or do we want to do spaghetti and maybe a side salad? Go real simple. Do I want to make meatballs or not have meatballs? But it gives me enough of a structure to know that these are the nights I'm doing that style meal. But then the meals within that can rotate and be whatever we want them to be. And I find that in the summer, I like to look up new menus. So I'm looking up new menus, and I looked up one. It was for a coffee cake. I haven't made coffee cake probably in 20 years. I just made what people nickname penicillin soup. We called it the soup that just cures whatever ails you. And we've had some sickness running through the home of head colds, and Graham's not been well. And so I've made a couple of pots of that soup. I made some scones to go with it. And oh, let me tell you, these scones, they're the best. We call them pan, P-A-N, scones. My Nana, who was Scottish, taught me how to make them. We love them. Our family goes crazy over them. I did a video on those. I'll have a picture up here. So these are all the things that we've been doing, changing our routine and our schedules, making memories through all of that, changing up our menus and making memories through even with that, like just having fun memories of, oh, remember when we did that such and such on the Blackstone, and then this happened and that happened, and really intentionally looking through everything that we're doing and in taking time to enjoy those moments. And yeah, we've been just trying to build more memories with all that we're doing. Even if we go to the Dollar Tree, making a memory about who we ran into or a situation, and having a good laugh about something. And even if it was a weird moment, like just going, oh wow, look what happened. Can you believe that? Talking through it and just enjoying life. Are you enjoying life? I know we've been through the last couple of months, we've had some heaviness and things going on, and you take a deep breath, you get through it, by God's grace, we got through it. We're ready for a fresh new season to make memories, build routines and new schedules, new memories, new menus and fun foods, and try new recipes. And even if the recipe's a flop, it's still fun to try something new and then say, I got a story to tell you. Wait till you hear how I tried to make this particular type of bread and what a flop, and you can laugh about it and share that story with a friend. All right, guys, we'll catch you all on the next video.